Mm. Today I'm going to be talking about the small little dosing pumps that you get on with these Chinese diesel air heaters. I've been having problems with these little dosing pumps. They're quite cheap to buy, and I've actually already have had to buy 3 of these. The problem is they seem to work quite well, but after a day or so, they suddenly quit working. They just stop clicking. So at first I thought it might have been the controller, but in the end, it wasn't the controller. It's these pumps here. They somehow seize up. The coil seems to be okay. I checked that resistively. Doesn't seem to be any shorts. It's difficult to measure, mind you, but didn't give any indication of shorts. Usually a short, it'll heat up quite a bit in the body here, but these bodies stay pretty cool. So not knowing that it isn't the controller, it's got to be something in the pump here. So what do? It stops clicking. Well, an easy way to do it, to check these, is to get a small battery. One of these here, you can get them in they're usually used in alarm systems for homes, motorcycles, maybe some lawnmowers have these. But get yourself one of these here, 12 volts. These are 12 volts. And we're going to do a little test to see if it clicks. So I'm just going to set up here, and I'm going to just aim the camera down a bit so that you can see what my setup is here. Let's see, I think you should be able to see that now. All right, so here I've got my battery here. I've got a set of alligator clips. Pick these up at an electronics store. This. And something to hold. So I'm going to use a big clamp here. I'm going to put aside and I'm going to clamp this on here, like so. So the direction of flow is this way here, up. I've got a small amount of diesel here in a container. I'm just going to put a box here to prop this thing up a little bit. This over here. This needs to come up a little bit here to bring up the diesel container here a bit. Let's see if it makes contact with it. Yeah, we're now sitting in the fuel. Okay, we've got our battery. First thing we're going to do is see if it clicks. So we won't worry about see if the pump works. Let's see if we can get it clicking. So you put your alligator clips onto the small terminals here, and make sure they don't touch, short out, because these will burn up pretty fast, these little alligator clips. Polarity is not an issue. You can put either one goes on minus and the other goes plus. Now the important thing being is that do not hold the alligator clip here on the positive lead, because it just draws far too much current. It will heat up real fast. So you want to just test it and see here. I think you might see a little spark, quite a bit of light here, but I can hear a little spark here. Nothing at all. Okay. So that's the reason why it's not clicking. Something is jamming in here. Don't know what. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to increase the voltage. I've got another spare battery floating around. Here's another one here. 12 volts again. And it doesn't matter the amp hour. It's just a small battery like this. I'm going to put these in series. Plus to minus. Like so. And now we've got 24 volts here. Now we're going to shock it. Now again, very important, do not hold, this is going to have to be a very quick pulse like this. Because if you hold it on there, that's 24 volts going into that little solenoid, that might burn out quite quickly. So you want to just do a quick little brief pump to see if you can get the thing, shock it into moving again. There she goes. So it's already pumping fluid and spraying over me. So put a little tube like this on the end here. This is a piece of heat shrink. But now we should be able to see the diesel rising up in there. Now, we know it's clicking. We've no need to continue using 24 volts. So I'll put this battery away, and we'll go back to 12 volts again. Now let's just check it here and see. There it comes up there. This is how you test it here. You can see how I quickly do this. Sparks a bit, that's okay, because that's the inductive forces of the solenoid doing that, so don't worry about the sparking. It's quite normal. So you can see the tube filling up here. I'm going to quite quickly. And as you can see quite nicely, I think you can see that against the background. It's it's working quite well. At this point here, I would take this pump and put it back into service. Put it back on your Chinese diesel heater, and set the hertz, the rate fairly high, something like 3.5, so that this pump really gets a good workout. Whatever was causing the clog is gone now. By the way, when you use diesel like this, make sure that it is very clean. There's no debris in there, because obviously there's no filter. We're not using a filter with these. So that has to be very clean. But once you get it installed, it's important to run your heater for about an hour at a fairly high speed. As I say, 3.5 for an hour. Then let it sit. Come back when everything's cooled down and try turning up the heater again, and that should make it work. So right now I would feel confident of putting this back into service. So you see 24 volts, the battery here, in series, gives us quite a wallop. So you got the little piston going up there, and that really smacks it. So I don't know if it's the machining slightly out, maybe a very small shaving of metal or something, but whatever it is, 24 volts really gets that solenoid plunger working up and down. So give that a try. It's worked for all three pumps actually. In the end, I got working this way, and one is right now, it's on the boat. My heater's in a boat, and it's yesterday I've been doing a couple days in a row, coming into the boat, turning it on, and bang, it's working beautifully. So now I can take one of these aboard as a spare, but make sure you run these for a while, and that's one way to rejuvenate these things. So it's got both a testing component and a rejuvenation component to it. So you'll be able to test it whether it's good, or you have to buy a new one. Okay, that's it. I hope this helps. There's lots of information on the internet. That's how I got a lot of stuff that I've learned on these Chinese diesel heaters. So till next time, thanks for watching.